Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's 70 me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Wayfinder. So y'all, before we jump right back into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm changer up, and let's go. Alright. I decided to worry about that later and take the book with me. I'm running out of time to get to that class. Chapter 3, Glamour. How many chapters there are? Made it! I practically launched myself into the classroom just moments before the instructor's assistant locks the door. Making my way to the empty seat I usually occupy, I give the instructor a wave and greeting and take my seat. After a few minutes, all the students are beginning the exam, and I start mine, wishing I had studied a bit more. 15 minutes in, I'm really wishing I'd studied more. I am answering some questions fine, and others don't seem to compute internally the way I know they should. Ring, ring. Huh? The sound of ringing comes in loud behind my head from up on high. Looking around to see people grabbing their bags, and then hear the instructor address us. Fire alarm! Everyone, please gather your belongings and make an exit to the emergency doors at the far side of the class down the stairs. People begin to shuffle across the aisles and down the stairs, but I wait a minute until there are fewer people to bump into. Be careful and remain calm. The exam will be postponed to next Friday. I gather my bag and the Norse mythology book I had accidentally taken from the library and head down the stairs towards the exit after almost everyone else. Quite a few of the students, myself included, stand scattered outside in the gentle sunlight. The campus security administrator is talking to the instructor and a few other faculty members of the building that was just evacuated. I feel a warm breeze on my neck and recognize the musk from the night before immediately. Turning my head to see the wolf giant's sharp smile at the corner of my eye, and I turn to meet him. Arkyn, what are you doing here? Oh, you know, I was just nearby, saw you, and I figured I'd say hello. So, hello? He lifts a paw hand in greeting, with a smile that betrays his cover story spread across his maw. I don't suppose you had anything to do with this, did you? He tenses up immediately, and I can see a nervous look in his eyes. Fynn, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. I give him a doubtful look and reach for his other arm, pulling it from his pocket. As I suspected, a blue residue coats his paw. Arkyn chuckles nervously, and I flick his nose, which elicits a squeak from the lupine. Ow, what was that? Arkyn! I'm not too loud, but he looks shocked as though I'm yelling at him. Why would you... Whoa, Flynn, keep it down. Fynn is his name, Jesus. You want people to hear us? He's right. I'm still gonna scold him. I quiet down to a whisper. Thankfully, nobody around even gave us so much as a second glance. Why would you pull a fire alarm? Have you gone mad? Arkyn lowers his voice. I could sense that you were panicking. I remember you said you had an exam and I assumed it wasn't going well. There you go. Oh yeah. I'm sure my interrupting you last night caused you no small amount of stress, so I thought I'd try to make things right by stopping the exam for everyone. It seems to have worked. The proud look on his face could not be any more misguided, but I can't help but smile at his thought process. He did it to help me because he felt bad, but if he hadn't come into my life last night, I might not have even made it to the test in the first place. Still, I feel the need to explain to him why it wasn't the right thing to do. I lean in close to Arkyn and smile. He looks down at me and smiles back. Arkyn, you helped me. I reach up to him and my hand brushes his cheek. That was so sweet. His head tilts a bit and leans into my hand. He seems to be expecting me to scratch his ear. Maybe? No, this isn't the time. I have him where I want him now. I must strike. I reach over his neck and pull his head down to a headlock with one arm. He's caught off guard and his balance is thrown off, allowing me to easily handle him and turn him toward the other students. Whoa! I motion toward the other students with my free arm. Now, look over there at all those other students. I'm sure some of them could have benefited from the extra time. That much is true. But what about the ones who tried really hard to study and to get into the right headspace for today? What about the instructor who had to worry if the fire was genuine and may have fear of losing her workplace? Or the security admin who has to look for some delinquent that's going around pulling fire alarms? Arkyn's eyes drop lower, and with each point until they're staring straight down at the ground. I didn't really think about how what I was doing was affecting them. Damn it, I'm sorry, Fynn. I pat his head gently and then pull his muzzle back in to scratch it some more. I give him a smile again, this time with no malicious intent hidden beneath. It's alright, Arkyn. I just need you to see. The things you do impact others. I would never ask you to help me if it were to another's detriment, unless it's an emergency. I see. I may have acted a bit recklessly. I give him a worried look and scratch behind his ear a bit. You're okay? I try not to be too rough. Arkyn leans in close and whispers gently into my own ear. Oh, it's fine. I could have taken it rougher. He laughs and I feel my cheeks grow hot. Sly devil. I pull away a bit and turn to regain my composure. After a moment, I look back to see him looking at me with a smirk. Then he gives me an understanding nod, toothy smile and all as he rubs his ear gently. I understand, Finder. I shall be more careful of my actions in the future. Oh, good then. Thank you. So, what happened to not being intrusive anyway? His face lights up in surprise, and he looks me in the eye. You didn't hear that phrase from me. That's a phrase we were told for the trials, though. Did you meet another wolf giant already? I'm taken aback. That was surprisingly inquisitive from him, though to be fair, I don't exactly have much of a sample group to refer to here. Deceptively smart, Arkyn. Yes, I've been found by 2 already, just in the last few hours, actually. Oops, I almost forgot. Their names are Geralf and Bjorn. Arkyn looks as though he's trying to remember something, and I figure maybe he thinks he knows the other wolf giants. Second meal. Water time. Can't say I know who they are outright, but I probably would know their family's names more than their own. Family names. Geralf mentioned something about bloodlines, but not family names. I'd ask about it, but he'll most likely just tell me he can't answer that or something. I decided to skip the question for now, and remembered the talk I just had with Bjorn and our plan to meet up tomorrow. Hey, we're meeting up at the garden center in the mall tomorrow afternoon, so I can hear what you all have to say. I'll make my decision on whether I want any part of this after I hear you out and have some time to think. Is that okay with you? Arkyn opens his mouth to answer, but is silenced by the sound of his stomach growling. Oh, hold that thought. My wolf giant friend looks at me quizzically. We'll get some food and talk about it while we eat. Come on, Arkyn. The wolf giant gives me an aberrant smile and follows. As we walk past the security administrator and faculty, I overhear them. We looked at the footage already. The person who pulled the alarm seems to be blurred out and we can't tell who it is. I followed the figure on the cameras outside the doors. I swallow hard, trying not to look suspicious. It seems they made a getaway already. Well, if the budget cuts hadn't wiped out the security team members, I'm sure you would have caught them. It speaks to the greed of those in higher seats that they'd rather save a buck than potentially save someone from harm, like that poor girl last week. I almost instinctively stopped to listen, but realized I looked suspicious, so I eavesdropped while walking. She was found maimed in a parking lot just off campus, shivering and delirious. An attack just off campus? I heard the police couldn't find a trace of evidence, and that the attacker could still be out there. It's terrible. Such a shame. There used to be a security officer stationed in that area. I can't imagine how... Oh, his instructor was a female, that's right. I can't imagine how long she must have been there waiting for help. That poor girl. I shudder and walk on. I know I have my own problems to deal with, but I can't imagine having to go through that. Arkyn is ahead of me a bit, so I jog to catch up as we make our way up toward the cafeteria. We walk into the cafeteria after a short walk across campus. The question comes to mind, and I turn toward Arkyn as we walk. Hey, Arkyn, how did you mess with the footage anyway? And how did you get away with all that blue crap on your hand without getting caught? You stopped hiding your hand, and we walked right by the security administrator. Arkyn laughs and places a warm hand on my shoulder. It's a bit heavy, but he doesn't hinder my movement. But more than that, it's the hand with the blue residue coating it. I shake his hand away before it stains my shirt, but it's long since dried. That's basic glamour magic, Fynn. I can show you some when our candidacy is confirmed after the rites. Show me? I get to see magic? Okay, I can be patient. Anyway, I have a meal plan card for the cafeteria, but if you wolf giants are glamoring as students, I assume you don't. You might have to use money here. There you go. Ooh, excuse me. Arkyn's face contorts into a conflicted mess. He pulls out a bundle of leaves from a pocket. Oh, right. I've been glamoring these leaves to pay for things. I look down in shock and move closer to Arkyn to whisper, Arkyn, what? Tell me that glamour doesn't wear off. I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm not nearby long enough. I put my palm up to my forehead and Arkyn seems to understand that I'm upset again. Oh, what is it? I motion over to the student working at the cash register. Arkyn follows my hand and looks over toward her. Arkyn, that girl over there is probably using her job here to help pay for her schooling. Now, imagine you're in her position, working to support yourself, and one day your boss fires you for taking piles of leaves instead of cash because now your drawer is short $10 and has been every day for the last week. All because someone used magic to make you think you had taken money because they wanted lunch. Arkyn looks at his leaves and his ears drop backward. He understands. I'm sorry. I'm just doing what we were told to do by the elf. I realized he cut himself off and pieced it together myself. Elder? Elders? Is that what you were going to say? Am I not supposed to know that? Arkyn nods and I can see him blushing again. It's okay, Arkyn. I won't pry. Hey! I place a hand on his arm and hold up my food card. He looks at me with guilt in his eyes, but I smile at him reassuringly. I get guest meals. I'll cover you, big guy. I don't fault you at all, Arkyn. You're just dealing with the hand that was given to you. So, what kind of food do you usually eat? Arkyn's ears perk up. He smiles and he looks around, sniffing the air a bit. I swear I can almost see his mouth watering. A hungry wolf indeed. I'm not picky. I'll eat anything, but I'd die for good old bangers and mash right now. Oh God, bangers and mash. He wants to do what? In public? What in the world is that? Bangers and mash? Is that one of those things I won't learn about until I get older? What the Arkyn laughs at this and points at some kielbasa. It's like that. Sausages and mashed potatoes. It's a bit of a staple where I'm from. My mother makes them the best. Hopefully I get to show you one day. His face is lit up like the holiday lights, but then suddenly he looks hesitant. His eyes move back over to the food. Seeing something he likes, Arkyn moves over to it and loads his tray up. I do the same and grab us a bottle of water each, then we head over to the cashier girl to pay. We finally move toward the tables, finding a spot isolated from other people so we can talk more. Arkyn gets that hesitant look again as we dig into our food. Hey, Fynn, how old are you anyway? I immediately feel myself get tense, my face getting warmer. Is that what he was hesitating on? Is it obvious that I'm insecure about it? Does it matter to him? Is he going to laugh if... No. Stop it. It's just a question. We barely know one another and he just wants to get to know me. I'm just going to answer it and move on, and that's that. I'm 25, almost 26. I realize I stuttered and my face gets warmer and I almost immediately feel like I need to defend myself. Is in fact a water time. I know that it's a bit odd for a sophomore in college to be my age, but life got in the way and I couldn't make up my mind, so I had a bit of a late start. Arkyn is petting me on the forearm gently and looking at me with a worried expression, and I hear his voice softly replying, Hey, Fynn, it's okay, it's okay. Look, I'm about the same age as you. Actually, I'm almost 27 myself. Man, you really tensed up there. I don't know much about any of this college stuff, but you're still pretty young. You shouldn't let something like how old you are bother you so much. Take a second to calm down. Arkyn's right, and I feel like a fool. I'm a little sad that it got to me so much. Yeah, it's silly to be worried about something like how old I am, but I can't help it. Having watched all my friends starting their adult lives and many of them having already something to show for it, I feel like I'm behind. Stuck on things that happened so long ago and not moving forward nearly fast enough to escape the feeling that I'm... Never mind, it's silly. We should look over to Arkyn's plate, only to see that he's already finished his meal. I was hungry. Sorry. We both laugh and he rubs his head in embarrassment. This wolf giant is such a puppy. I take a smaller portion of my own food and separate it, then grab his plate and put the rest onto it for him. When I hand the plate back, he looks at me in surprise. Won't you be hungry? No, I'll be fine. I only have one class after this, so I can just eat at home in a bit if I do get hungry. Arkyn smiles wide and then starts digging in. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. But before I go, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. Thank you so much for subbing to our ultimate tier. You're awesome. We love you. We hope you enjoy your new icon anyway. If y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our Not Safe for Work content as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!